those hard races it's difficult to sometimes judge them late season with all the travel, but you know, I didn't quite get it right that day, and I wanted to right that wrong a little bit today.
How'd you kind of regroup mentally to, you know, travel and
I'm trusted by a lot of brands and that want me to come out here and perform and show off their companies, and you know, I don't take that ever for granted. And you know, this isn't talent, this is hard work.
What about this race? Do you feel like, you know, since you've won before, like, how do you feel like that benefits you? Do you feel like it's kind of set up for your strengths?
Yeah, I think, you know, I was just looking to bring those guys into kind of deep, dark waters early and kind of see who the players were going to be this year. And if you go early, then it's going to really figure out who wants to be here and who doesn't.
It's been a long season. Like, any plans, you know, to kind of celebrate, take a deep breath? Like,
you know, I'm going to spend time with my family. I think I said in the press conference yesterday is, you know, in a good Olympic year, there's going to be imbalances in your life, and you know, I definitely had an imbalance towards my job this year, and it's time to push that imbalance the other way and spend time and kind of be present for my family and you know, everyone that kind of supports me as part of my team.
That's the end of the year now. No more running now.
No more running for the rest of the track season. I might do something, you know, in the winter, something a bit longer, but we haven't decided what that is yet.
Are you going to go to China, hold indoors? Do you think you'll do that? Holland, deal indoors?
I mean, I didn't decide about going to Glasgow until like kind of January, February time, but you know, look, the reason I don't extend my season way too long is to stay away from injuries. I've come off of that great race, and sometimes you just need to know when to, you know, hang it up and call it a season. And I've come off with no injuries right now, and you know, as long as I don't step in any glass, I'm in a good spot.
And that's exciting because you know the best is still to come. I know you've got this record in Paris, but you feel the best is still to come.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've got the outdoor mile and 1500 record. I used to have both the indoor 1500 mile record. I want to get those back and show how dominant I can be in the British 1500 scene, because it's hard enough as it is, and that'll propel me into a really good spot for the rest of the world.
And the wedding's next year now, it's not this autumn, so...
Yeah, wedding's next year, and again, I'm just going to sort that imbalance out and be present with everyone that's part of my family.
Celebrate something in New York?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I fly back at 8 p.m. My missus has work tomorrow, so you know, that's part of it.
So in 2025, you're gonna
Sorry, guys.
Right, you have an adjustment in terms of a lot more racing.
Yeah.
I know you said that you can find the pace races a little boring. What do you think is going to allow you to race a lot more and like still keep the focus on peaking for worlds and things like that?
A lot of it's motivation, to be honest. And you know, like I was saying, obviously it comes off a bit brash when you're like, oh, these races are boring. But I mean, you guys don't do it. Like, running under 3:30 is hard. It's really hard. And you know, all you're doing is staring at the floor and hoping you don't, you know, pass out or fall over. And that's fun, but being able to stay present and race the guys next year is a bigger kind of challenge for me, and I'm looking forward to that coming up next year.
Yeah, and were you a little bit surprised that, I know like they asked you at the last press conference, you and Jakob, to say something nice about you. You went the cheeky route, he went pretty like complimented you on that.
It's just like, you know, there's a lot of shout behind the scenes, and you guys do a great job of like keeping our sport alive in some ways, and I appreciate all the work that you guys do, but when it comes to those press conferences, ask good questions, you know what I mean? Like, that's such a boring question. You know, we're two of the best 1500 meter runners in the world, and we want people to watch our sport. If you want to ask good questions, you'll get good answers. And I think, you know, someone being like, so like, do you like the 1500? Like, it's not a good question, and I feel like if we're going to keep the sport alive, then we've got to be, you know, working into our rivalries and working into our head-to-head challenges, and you know, that's part of our job and it's part of yours as well. But I think this year has helped a lot with our personalities in the mile and the 1500, and giving you guys something to write about at least. And you know, I want to continue that in press conferences.
Yeah, and you said last week too, like you think you might have had a race or two too many. I know with your schedule it's very selective. What did you mean by that? What races are you thinking? Maybe I win Paris if I
don't know. I don't remember really saying that. I think, you know, the end of the season is hard for everyone. Like, everyone takes it differently, and you know, we're coming off an Olympic Games that we built up for 4 years, and it's a result that I was happy with, but I'm not satisfied with. And you know, there's a lot of mixed emotions with that. There's a reason that all you guys don't go to every single one of our meets. It's hard. It's hard travel. It's hard to keep doing the same thing all the time and be as good as you are every single day. So you know, we have a lot of pressures on us, and I want to make sure that I'm ready, ripe, and want to put on shows like that every time I go out, but I can't. So I'm a bit selective, and I'm excited for next year. I think we have some great races coming up, so I'm just looking to put on a show.
Yeah, so the way today's an unpaced race, you really blitzed it. Is that something you're going to be wanting your opponents' minds in these unpaced races on the Grand Slams?
Yeah, I know. I can front run, and I can sit back and kick, and I will show all of those tactics in the toolbox when it comes to next year, and you know, I think I'll let people know about that.
It's a great spectacle, iconic avenue for the Michael Johnson event next year. Do you hope it's similar to this in terms of the crowds, the prestige, and the way it's presented?
They're going to put a new energy in. Regardless of what they do, they're bringing unbelievable kind of innovation to our sport, and I think it's going to put the best athletes against the best, and it's going to at least give some of these people who come and watch the Olympics somewhere to go and know they're going to be watching some of the best races in the world. And I'm excited to see what that looks like. I probably don't know as much as you think I do. They're keeping it pretty tight, but it's coming together very well from what I know of it, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
We saw Warholm and Duplantis doing a hybrid. Would you be up for any type of hybrid event, a 200 or
of course.
5,000?
Something that's slightly different. We don't want this sport to be old and boring and like the same thing every single weekend, week out. I think everyone enjoyed that for what it was. I think everyone was surprised by how good Monza was at that, and I think that's what our sport needs, is a little bit of change and a little bit of effort in making sure that everyone was here to watch great races.
So when you're thinking of that, there's one more slot for the 815 group.
Yeah.
Right now we have 3. We have the podium basically. We don't have an 800 guy in primary. What do you think for that final spot? Do you think? I know you don't have any intel, but you're just saying.
No, I don't. But I have an opinion as well. I'm allowed to have that. I'm one of the ambassadors of the meet. So, I would love an 800. Look, Hobbs has probably the best 815 PBs in the world. But personally, I would love a Brit on there. Jake Whiteman, Neil Gurley. I think those two, again, they're both like 143, 329, 330 guys. So, you have a handful of guys that are trying to put their hand up for that, and it's a great opportunity for anyone that wants it. But I think the challenges will be quite as exciting if those guys don't get in it for there. So
no plans on a winter half marathon yet?
I'll do something longer as long as training is going well. I'll be transparent about how it's going. I've had great winters in the past, and being able to stop here and knowing my body's healthy is a really good start. Extending it a little bit further past that is difficult. So I'm just focused on making sure the body's healthy.
So did you just feel a lot better today than, let's say, in like your last race, or what was the kind of behind that?
There's a difference between running a downhill road mile with a tailwind at 345 and trying to run 328. Like, it's different.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed today. It was so fun. I think everyone saw how electric that crowd was, and I'm running against some great guys down Fifth Ave. So I've got my family here and everyone that kind of works with me here, having a bit of a nice holiday, and we're having a blast. So.
You see the last one. You see the Harry Potter?
No.
You did.
Yeah.